Hello guys, today we're looking at the Black Series number 01 Pilot Luke Skywalker figure. This was the very first figure in the Black Series line, and Black Series started off a very high note with this one. This figure comes included with 4 accessories: the helmet, the blaster pistol, the lightsaber hilt, as well as the lightsaber blade. I'll show you in a minute that's actually removable. So, moving on to the accessories. Well, keeping on the accessories. Comes with a very nicely painted helmet, as we can see here. All the decals are applied very nicely. Looks as though it should, and the weathering is a nice small touch because it wasn't a really proper clean helmet in the film. And it's also cast in nice translucent plastic, so your little visor there comes through clear instead of as a yellow painted banana visor like some figures have. Next we'll move on to the pistol, which again a very nice addition to the figure. Comes with some nice little paint apps here. A little silver on the tip as well as a bit of brown on the handle. So overall, another good accessory. And finally the saber, the 2-part saber even. Starting off we have the saber here, which is cast in a very light, almost greenish blue. It's very turquoise per se blue, which is quite different from the other colors of blue lightsaber we've seen in the other figures. So Hasbro could really get that down, that'd be nice. And as you can see here, the hilt attaches, and it's got a very nice thick peg, almost the same size as the blade itself, so really no worry about breaking there like some of the other figures have. And a neat little feature is, if you'll notice there's a nice loop on this belt, it's because it attaches to the figure. And there you can have Luke's belt hang down properly. It can, even since it's hanging, it'll drape the right way of which he's sitting, though you're going to have to move it a little over itself as it sticks there nice and firm. So that's a really nice feature that they added there. Do a quick 360 of the figure itself here. Again, the back has just as many good paint apps as the front, and overall it's just really clean when it comes to that. So, other things about this figure, all the joints are cast in the right color, orange, even the neck peg is cast in the skin tone as it should. So they started off on a very high note with getting everything right. They wanted their start of their line to be very crisp or very clean, and they proved it to be that they could do it. Even the head sculpt on this figure is pretty good. Like, it's not perfectly Mark Hamill, as it's a painted head rather than cast, which, again, I hate when they paint faces rather than have them cast in the skin tone. But here, they do a nice job of it. It looks good, though I could only imagine how nice the head sculpt would look had it been cast, which we do find out later on in the Stormtrooper Luke figure, which uses the same sculpt. But yeah, comes with very nice detailing to the sides. You have everything looking all crisp, and over here as well, don't have anything in the pocket. It's a very nice and clean figure, and it's really a shame we haven't gotten any more X-Wing pilots, considering that they had this really nice sculpt sitting around. Though I will say that compared to later on figures, Luke is slightly large. Like, for example, here is Darth Maul. Who should absolutely tower over Luke, considering Maul was a taller character and Luke was only, I believe, 5'8" in the original film. So he should be quite a bit taller, and he should be quite a bit taller. What's helping Maul here is that he's leaning forward a little bit, but I don't know really how to fix this, but the height comparison is a lot closer to real life. I'm sorry that I couldn't quite portray it here. But anyway, the figure's very nice. You have multiple display options with him holding his lightsaber. His lightsaber that, mind you, they did not need to include, considering that, you know, he never really used the lightsaber well in the pilot costume as far as I can recall. So it was a nice touch. And the blaster as well. They could have strictly given us a figure with none of the accessories and acted like it was fine and been like, you know, Luke didn't use any of those when in the cockpit of the X-Wing, so why give them to you? But they decided to include them, and then started off the Black Series with a very high note. Like, even if you notice, these leg straps are separately sculpted pieces, so they'll move with the legs. All your articulation isn't hindered at all. You have standard, when it comes to 6-inch double jointed knees, swivel hips, rocker ankles, as well as a swivel on the boot. And then you just have a ball joint on the shoulder rather than a double jointed area such as the knee. But overall, a very good figure, and to rate this figure, considering it's the start of the line, I'm going to give this figure a 9, only taking points away from the painted face rather than cast, and the slightly bulkiness to the figure, I'd say. Since Luke was a really slim guy in A New Hope, and this figure really doesn't quite have that slimness to him, as well as the size, so overall slightly too big, but I had thought at first maybe they made the sculpt a little bigger, you know, to fit all pilots, aside from Jet Porkins, of course, but then they didn't release any other pilots, so I was just like, I don't know what they were doing. But anyway, very good figure. If you find him on the aftermarket, he's going for about $80, $90, so if you missed out, I'm sorry. I don't know if he's really worth picking up for that price, unless you're a completionist, but he's good nonetheless. Thanks for watching.